Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode from Digital Marketing Tribe on Demand. And today we're going to talk about how would we run ads if we were to run them for a local restaurant here in Australia. And so we do get asked this question a lot because for a lot of restaurants, you got so many moving components of your business running every single day, from the food, the orders, the staff, everything. So you're running at a million miles an hour, and so how do you run Facebook ads for your business, especially if you're in a type of cuisine that is a little bit unique, and there's not too many of your restaurants around in your city. And so one of the things that we would do as an ad, and something that very simple that you could implement straight away, is first of all pick your targeting. So how far away from your restaurant do you want to hone in and target? The other thing is, you can go into interest and you can type in, for example, Italian cuisine or Greek cuisine, and it just starts to filter the type of people that you may want to be attracting to your restaurant. However, when it comes to restaurants, I would keep it pretty broad because people love to eat and they like to try new things out. And the fact that not so many restaurants out there are running Facebook advertising, it puts you in a unique spot. So I would just make sure that the images are really, really good. The caption, the call to action to get them to come into your restaurant is really strong. And again, I'm not one to, give away the farm. I'm more of a believer that if I run a good business, I don't need to give away crazy offers or 2 for 1 or anything like that. If you back your business and you're behind your business and your proposition and how good your restaurant quality is, then I would really stick to we're award winning, or we've got the best Japanese cuisine or the best Italian restaurant in Adelaide, and I would back it up with really good imagery. And then from a targeting point of view, you would set it up in a way that, look, a radius is important. But again, I'd keep it pretty loose as far as, if, for example, here in Adelaide, where we're from, I wouldn't even go down the path of just keeping it within a 5 kilometer radius or a 10 kilometer radius. I would just keep it open. I'd watch what the type of traffic that comes through as well. And also have a think about, when you want to run your ad, who makes the decision about coming to this particular restaurant, And generally, I would say that what's worked really well for us and what could work really well for you as well, especially if you're on a low budget, is I would actually just switch the audience off to just female only. And what we find about that is that generally, the wife or the girlfriend is sitting there, at work thinking about, what are we going to eat tonight? Or I want us to go out on a dinner date. And so the conversation tends to be instigated by them, and then both make a decision about where they're going to go. So if you're running on a really low budget, that's a little tip right there that you could implement and, test it out and maybe run $50 on an ad that targets both males and females, and then $50 on just female only, and just see what happens. Look, this whole advertising thing and running Facebook advertising, and there is no magic formula as such as, if you run this exact copy, this exact image, you will be successful. And so it is about running little tests, finding what works, and then when you find what works, then expand on it. So for example, if you ran a $50 ad and it was primarily majority of the audience was 45 plus, then you switch off the others and you keep them on them if that's who you're targeting. However, if you wanted to attract 20-year-olds, but really your ad is attracting 40-year-olds, then maybe look at the imagery or video that you're using on your advertising. And as always, in 2019, video is king. So if you're running ads or using imagery and it's not really doing anything, maybe it might be time to invest a little bit on a really good video about your business, and then running the ad using that as well. But overall, as a company, we're always about, get out there, give it a go, give it a crack. So just a quick recap on some of the things that we've spoken about today. Target, leave it fairly simple, good imagery, good call to action. Do not give away the farm. Just run something that you think would be appealing, and ultimately back yourselves, because you know your restaurant. Like if I were to come and work with you right now, it will take me a little bit of time to find your unique selling proposition. And remember that when it comes to business in general, it's not what you do, because obviously if you run an Italian, a Greek restaurant, there are so many of you. And so it's not about that, but it's about who you guys are as a business, and making that the best part about the ad is, we've been, for example, family run for over 20 years. We are extremely passionate about teaching our community about our cuisine. I mean, I could just rattle off these particular buzzwords and key things that you could mention in your captions and in your text to make you stand out. So don't go on and saying, hi, feel like Italian? Come here. There are millions of restaurants that do Italian cuisine. Why you? Do you spend multiple hours making the sauce in the morning, or just there are some things that you do that make you unique. So when you're doing an ad, especially when you're on a low budget, really go out there and really give it a hot go and think about what you're going to put in there. And as always, we'd love to hear your comments. So we'd love to hear what you guys think. And if this video was helpful, reach out to us. We'd love to know more. And if you have a particular topic that you want us to cover, just mention it in the comments below and we'll whip something up. And as always, we'll see you on the next